we did end up getting quite a bit of rain. It is good and sloppy out there, so we won't be burying rock piles for a little while at least. Hopefully the sun comes out soon and we're able to get going, just so it's not so slimy, and then we'd be able to go. Basically the payloader has to be able to operate. We got the trucks home last night. We're gonna get the shop cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna sweep and scrub the floor. We're gonna get them in and get some work done to the trailers, that way they're ready to go. But first, let's get some of the floor cleaned so it's actually workable. Now I think we might be stuck. Sorry, Mom, I took your tractor mud running a little bit back there. So much for a clean floor. Trailers are ready, they just needed some grease and a little bit of tire work, go figure. Now I think we might head out to the field this afternoon. It's starting to dry off a little bit, get some piles buried again. It ain't dry, but it ain't slimy anymore. Cameron's running the midi, picking up some rock and leveling out the approaches and stuff. We're letting everything warm up and get my tire pumped up again. Well, the guy gets her done, but it takes a while. I was at 20 PSI last time I checked. We were actually talking to the previous landowners of this land that we were just fortunate enough to purchase here. And she said her dad purchased this ground that I'm standing on in 1942 or 44, she said, I don't remember. And he purchased it for $5 an acre. So what he paid for this entire quarter of land, we can't even buy 1 acre for that. Man, how things have changed in the past, what would that be now? 60, 80 years? Little different. Back then, $4 would have got you a lot more. Well, I am officially done hauling clay with the scraper. I am now going to jump in the mini excavator and get that prairie right there, some rock dug out, and that prairie there, some rock. There's a few solid ones in there. You get them ripped out so we can get it disked up, so hopefully we can seed that this year. But all the approaches to this field are good and wide, and now anybody can make it in without any of us having to worry that they'll drop something down the ditch. This right here is what we're doing. Going along with the mini excavator. Digging out the solid rock. Man, that one took a while. I just couldn't get a good grip on it with my little claw. I think a bucket maybe would have worked a little better for this one. This here worked out just right. We had a rock pile right on top of this hill. This hill right here is very, very steep. So what we ended up doing is digging a hole on the one side of it, putting the rock pile in the hole, and now we're pushing the clay pile down the hill here. So it's not so steep and it's a lot easier to farm and get over it with the big combines and stuff. The camera really doesn't do it justice, but this is a very steep hill. And this is gonna make it way better and way easier to farm. Gets a little bit of a better idea, but also not really. We're just gonna pull all that down, make it so it's not so steep and it goes like that. Man, that looks good now. The pile's gone and clay is pulled out, so it's not so steep. We don't gotta go around the rock pile. and beside hilling on this steep hill now. It looks good, it's done. We'll bring the box blade down here, our pull type blader, and kind of pull it out a little more so the headers go across it nicely. Work the ground up a little bit, pick a few rock, and we'll plant over that. Got the scraper unhooked because we're done with that. Hauling clay for approaches. This is one of the approaches I hauled for just to make it wider. It used to be so narrow like that one across. This is way nicer now. Kind of finishing up a little bit, making it a little bit smoother. I think this one's about done. This one looks pretty nice. I just gotta grab, I saw 3 rocks I gotta grab. So this right here, where we had previously just buried a rock pile with that large excavator, I'm going to take that blade and just drag it all out so it's nice and smooth and you can't even tell anything happened here then. That way the headers go across it nicely, the drills go across it nicely, and it's just nicely farmable as if it was a normal field, like nothing happened. Well, we drove around in circles like 10 times, and now here's our finished product. I'd say it looks pretty good. I think a header should float over this real nicely. I pulled a few rocks up and over there. But yeah, this should work. I'm gonna come out here later with the quick till. I'll quick till it a few times to make a nice seed bed. That'll help finish level it out, and you'll never know a rock pile was ever even here. Besides the clay and not topsoil. But within a few years, yeah, you're never gonna know. Oh, I love improving land. On to the next one. Well, that's not what I was going for. I'm stuck. Oh, I'm really like I'm really stuck. Sorry, Dad. I didn't do it on purpose. This clay pile was in a bit of a draw. And there's still snow. And I found a wet spot. Yeah. Now I gotta wait. Not only are we stuck, I mean, if it would just be stuck, that'd be fabulous. But we also got a flat tire. I think I spun on a rock. I was trying to back out, and all of a sudden, I heard a pop. Oh, a good day turned into a bad one real quick. What do? He's coming to rescue me with my stuckness. Right there. I think that'll get me out. Man, that left a crater. Well, we're out. I still got a flat tire. Well, I thought I cut the tire. Turns out I ripped the valve stem off. Still bad, but less bad. Dad's not very happy. Sure. I did an oopsie. Oh. I'm gonna be the one that has to wash this too. When it rains, it pours. Camera's moving this massive behemoth of a rock. Maybe a little bit too big for the Mini. And we got issues. It's leaking somewhere in there. I'm in here moving stuff around and I think I maybe found it. I don't think that is supposed to do that. Well, loose fitting on that. It ended up wrecking the seal, so we need a new seal. We're gonna switch tractors because it might be a while till this one gets fixed. But I'm gonna give a quick little bath. Not gonna completely clean it, but try to clean some of it up. I feel bad for the tractor. It ain't perfect, but I got a majority of the mud off. I just don't like that stuff sitting on there. It just starts breaking stuff. So, well, we've upgraded tractors a little bit here. I think this will do. We broke the valve stem off that one. I would try tackling it myself, but I don't have a bead breaker, and I don't know how I'm gonna get that bead broke on that big thing. I can't just use the payloader for that. Dad said I get to run the big tractor, so I'm like, okay, I should break valve stems more often. This is where the mud hole ate the 7R. I don't think it's gonna eat this 9RX, but I probably shouldn't speak too soon. It drags this blade around like it's a tin can. This heavy Wishick disc is breaking this sod real nicely. So I came home to get the quick till, and I know when I unhooked this last fall that I had stuff doing that. I'm gonna wash this up and see if I can fix it. We're dripping from there, and that might be part of my reason why. We're dripping in a few areas. So, looks like I need a seal and some wrenches. Should be able to get this fixed up. I'm taking these all apart here by hand. I shouldn't be able to do that. More junk seals. I probably shouldn't get ahead of myself before I don't know what hose goes where. And then we got it all mixed up. If that still leaks, I'm gonna be pissed. You know, I power washed this whole thing off in hopes that my hands wouldn't look like this. You can never win. But every single one of them are a little bit loose, and I had 3 blown seals, it looks like. I have 1 spare. I hope that doesn't leak anymore. But I guess that was an easy, quick fix. I don't gotta go splice a hydraulic hose. This is a new machine. We ran it last year for the first time, and this started leaking toward the end. So I kind of just kept sending it and then hooked it up this year, hoping my problem would have fixed itself over the winter, but it did not. I think it's fixed now. We shouldn't leak any more oil. I gotta run up and get a bead breaker yet tonight, borrowing a bead breaker from a neighbor so I can get my valve stem fixed tomorrow. A little guy right there. If you guys made it this far and haven't watched my last video, wherever it may be, somewhere on the screen, click on that, give that a try. Until next time, see you later. Thanks for watching, guys.